What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. And today, you're talking sports with MJ. Today, obviously, I'm not by myself. So, we got the Bears season prediction. This was long overdue. But before we get into today's stream, we got to introduce our guest the right way. First, we got a kid who doesn't know anything about football. Honestly, I just invited him here because I was held hostage.
Must not be
But
me.
he but overall, he does have good takes and he does know his Bears. Benji, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. We got JB, another Bears fan in the chat. Big Play Slate. Big Play Slate wants to get slapped already. Big Play Slate. I don't want to slap people, but
Yeah.
But anyways, and then obviously, I don't think this guy needs no introduction, but we're gonna do it anyways. One half of probably the best sports channel. Not even probably the best sports channel on YouTube. We got Josh from the Sports Series. How are you doing today, sir?
What's up, MG? Thanks for having me back on your channel, dude, to talk Bears for the 2021 season. I'm hyped, bro. It's going to be a good year, optimistic year. Can't wait to talk about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Last time you were on the channel, and last time you were on my podcast, go subscribe to the Ben podcast, by the way, if you haven't. We always talk about basketball, but now that's upon us. That's back months and weeks ago. We got to talk about the Chicago Bears. Last time Benji was on, we were talking about basketball, but it's time to get on the gridiron. Get your tailgate chucks ready because we got the Bears prediction. Now, before we get into that, I just got a couple of questions for these fellas here because we got an elephant in the room. Benji, I think you're wearing his jersey. Josh, I think you wore his jersey last stream or the stream before, and that is first round pick Justin Fields. I'll start with Josh. How did you feel about his first performance?
Incredible. He went out there and got the job done and did more. He was the best quarterback during preseason week 1. He was making plays with his legs, showing his athleticism, showing his poise, showing his accuracy, his cross-body throws. He was dynamic. I mean, he just completely changed the look of the offense once he started getting going. It was incredible. It was fun to watch, and it was something that we've been longing for a long time. It was awesome.
100%. And Benji, how do you feel about his first performance?
Love it, man. He was electric. That old line at the start was, not performing well at all. But he was able to use his scrambling ability to get outside of the pocket, take it for a gain, and he had that one fumble. And he has to adjust the issues where he needs to slide, and you can't be making all these spin moves all the time. But overall,
what did
you say?
Which he said he's going to retire, the spin move.
Yeah. But overall, he played great. 2 touchdowns, no picks, over 150 yards. Definitely the best rookie quarterback in the preseason for week 1. And the future is bright with him in Chicago.
Yep. And one thing I wanted to point out is that Matt Nagy drafted this guy, so he should have more confidence in him than he had in Trubisky, Foles, or Dalton, or whoever he started, Chase Daniel, whoever. Matt Nagy should have confidence in Justin Fields because this is the guy he drafted. This is not a free agent signing or a trade like Nick Foles. This is not a guy who you just got thrown to like Trubisky. This is a guy Matt Nagy drafted. So I expect Matt Nagy to give him his full confidence. And when Fields eventually does start, whether it's week 1, week 8, I expect Matt Nagy to be a little bit more confident and open up the playbook a little bit more than he did with Trubisky. And honestly, I know Bears fans hate Matt Nagy, but I don't blame him for some of the play calls he made because when you got a guy like Trubisky who tends to make mistakes, you do kind of get hesitant on your play calls and throw check downs, screen passes, and stuff like that. So that's just what I feel. But I think Fields adds a different dynamic to the offense and a different dynamic to the play calling.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think I still think Nagy, whether you like him or not, you got to respect that he is a very smart, intelligent guy when it comes to football. He knows what he's doing. He may make some bad calls here and there, but he is a genius. He just needs to not be too pretty with what he does. And, He just needs to roll with Justin Fields. For a perfect example with changing like your system a little bit is like John Harbaugh. He got Lamar Jackson. He played his offense the way that Lamar Jackson played. You're gonna do that with Fields. You want to get him outside of the pocket. You want to get some deep balls over there. Get him to run because that's what he's best at. He didn't do that with Trubisky, so I'm really hoping he did that with Fields. He does that with Fields because that's what he's gonna need to do, and run the ball.
Nagy is smart, but sometimes he's too smart for his own good. This happens sometimes with guys just like this. He needs to just not overthink it. Some of his problems is he doesn't recognize the difference between what his play calls for and the personnel that he has to work with, and that it doesn't just all connect. Sometimes he has a big problem with getting the play out. Sometimes he'll sit there with his charts and he'll be looking down his charts and he'll take so long to come up with a play. And by the time he gets one, the clock's winding down. We saw that in preseason week 1, just in this past game. Last year, Nick Foles was talking about it, how much of a problem it was. That's something he needs to work on because sometimes he just overthinks it.
Yeah, I mean that's big. Sometimes as a coach, you gotta just not overthink it. You gotta kind of simplify it sometimes. But next question I have, and the last question before we get to our actual record prediction, is that and this guy before he had the season he had, I debated against him. Shame on me. But what's your guys' thoughts on Darnell Mooney going into year number 2?
Love him. He's a fantastic wide receiver, and I think he could break out this year. He was 9th last year with passes thrown to him that were uncatchable because they were just horribly inaccurate because our quarterback situation was dog shit all season long, and it was dog shit. So, I mean, you think about that and just his ability, his talent, he could break out this year. He had, over 600 yards last season with that quarterback situation. He could get close to maybe 800, 1,000 yards this year.
100%.
He has that ability.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, with Darnell Mooney, I'm 100% on the train that he's going to be an 800-plus yard receiver this year. He has, first of all, Allen Robinson being there. That's who defenses are going to look forward to playing against as the wide receiver. So he's going to be left there with usually the cornerback 2 on the team, whoever he's playing. And he is a very good wide receiver for us. As Josh said, he burned a lot of corners, and he was open a lot of times. And he didn't get the ball thrown to him, or it was overthrown to him, or it was underthrown to him. It was anywhere but thrown to him. So
yeah, it wasn't here, Josh. I see Josh going like that.
It's gonna be a very good season for him. He's been killing it in training camp. I saw him play in training camp in person, and that man, he's gonna be a monster this year. And shout out to Darnell Mooney. I met him. Very nice guy.
Good. There you go. Nice guy. Nice football player. And we got nice people in the chat. We got Arturo in the chat. Welcome. I know Anthony Simonelli was here early. I think Big Play Slay was here early. He called Mooney a legend. Gio, he said, why does Benji look like Chicken Little? I mean, that's like the 1,000th time I heard that. Jesus Christ. No Anthony Miller either. Nope, he's no longer a Bear. He's not a Texan. Cole Kmet that's another guy who I want to talk about after the record prediction. Camp. Really?
He had a standout training camp for the Bears this year. He was such a contact guy. He was gonna go up and get it, truck these defenders.
You go. That's what you want on your tight end. But now we have a 17-game, 18-week season, something new. This is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna ask Josh his prediction for that week. I'm gonna ask Benji, and then I'm gonna answer myself in the chat. You guys can go along with who you have winning every single Bears matchup. So let's get right into it. Week 1, Sunday Night Football under the bright lights on NBC. Also live on the Sports Series channel. If you want to watch commentators, it's better than Chris Collinsworth. Mr. Joshua, Los Angeles Rams, Chicago Bears. Who you got winning this game?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Week 1, prime time, Sunday Night Football. As much as I would love to say that we're going to win this game, and it's possible we could, but I'm going to go with the Rams taking this one. They're just going to have a very good team this year, one of the best teams in the NFC, offensively, defensively. Our offensive line is probably my biggest worry for the Chicago Bears at this point, especially with the situation going on with Tevin Jenkins right now. So, yeah, they're going to be able to bring that pressure, and I wonder how Andy Dalton's going to be able to perform because, of course, he's not as mobile as Justin Fields and make plays, on the fly like that. So I think we can compete with the Rams, and we will, but I'm going to go with the Rams to take this dub week 1.
All right, well, I'll go while Benji is doing God knows what. Week number 1, I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Rams, and for the same exact reasons. I just think with Tevin Jenkins, that left tackle spot is looking a little bit scary right now for me. I think that the LA Rams defense will get enough pressure on Andy Dalton, who I expect to be the starter week 1. I just think the Rams are gonna come out with this one. I think the catalyst of them winning is getting pressure to the quarterback. Also, Jalen Ramsey going against A-Rob. That's going to be an interesting matchup. We'll see how that plays out. And then I think the Rams offense will do just enough to outscore the Bears offense in this one. But Benji, who do you have in the Rams and Bears matchup?
I think the Fields is going to start, actually.
Ooh.
I think he's going to start week 1. With everything that Matt Nagy said, he went from quarterback 1, Andy Dalton, to, okay, well, he's quarterback 1. We're sticking with that, but Fields has been looking great. He's still running with the 2s. Fields is now running somewhat with the 1s. It's slowly starting to build towards Fields playing with the 1s. And what I don't understand is that if you have a guy who is playing way better than Andy Dalton and he looks ready, then he should play. And I'm for quarterback sitting, but I think that he should play. And with that being said, I have a hot take. I think we're winning this game. I think Fields is going to show up. I think he performs well under the pressure. I know Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey are there, but when has he not played well under pressure? He plays well in big-time games. He's made for that. And I have us winning this game.
I want to say, I think if Justin Fields was going to be the week 1 starter, I would like our chances more of winning this game for sure. I think he could go out there and win it. And, I think it's very possible that Justin Fields might take this job just right away from Andy Dalton because it's just how good he looks. And I hope Matt Nagy really is starting to open up to that idea because, I brought this up on the last stream. This might not be a situation that's like Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, or Mahomes sat behind Smith for a whole year and then started, playing as a starter the year 2. This might be more of like a Matt Flynn and Russell Wilson situation where Matt Flynn came in there with the full intentions of him being the guy. He was going to be the starter the next season, but Russell Wilson said, no, he changed that whole story and the rest is history. That might be the case here. He's just that good, that dynamic. And hey, I wouldn't hate it. And Matt Nagy also, he might be on the hot seat this year. And we already saw last year what kind of leash he had with Nick Foles, with Mitchell Trubisky, going into last season, which I called, by the way. I'm like, the first time, I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens. And I don't care what anyone else says. The minute he messes up, he's yanked. He's gone. And that's exactly what happened. And that might be the very case with Andy Dalton. As soon as Matt Nagy says he makes it up in his mind that Fields is the guy, Dalton's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, I also want to bring this up. Now, I know Stafford's on a different team. He's not on the Lions anymore. But Stafford he doesn't play well against our defense for some reason. He just doesn't. I know he's on the Lions. You want to bring that up. But even when he has some weapons, he just never plays well against us. And if we're fully healthy and you got Eddie Goldman coming back, who's a huge part of this defense, and you got Robert Quinn rushing you, Eddie Goldman, Bilal Nichols, Khalil Mack, and Akeem Hicks coming in there, you're not going to have a lot of time to throw the ball. So you're going to have to rely on our corners not being able to guard your wide receivers, and I just don't know if that's going to work out for them. I think we could score more points than them. And they lost Cam Akers. They lost Cam
They
Akers too.
did, but to your point, like you said about the Rams offensive line and how they're gonna be pressured, that's exactly what I think about the Bears. Because like I said, the unsecurity at the left tackle spot, and you're gonna have the Rams are gonna send a lot of pressure. They're gonna expose that. One thing that the Rams do, they're a very smart team when it comes to X's and O's. Once they see that matchup exploited at left tackle, they're gonna
Yeah.
attack that. Now, if Fields is a starter, like I said, I don't think he's going to be a starter this game because if Fields is a starter, he can roll out of that pressure like he showed in preseason week 1, his ability to get out. But I think it's going to be Dalton. And Dalton is, at this point of his career, he's just a statue who can just stand there, just throw the ball, boom, boom, and that's all he does. But I
If it's
think you
Dalton, we
both make good
lose.
points. But like I said, honestly, I mean, this game could come down to who you think could be starting. Because like I said, Fields, his ability to get out of that pressure is big. But now week number 2, B Money. I don't think he's in the chat. If you are in the chat or you're watching this on replay somehow, Josh and Benji and JB going up against B Money and the Bengals. Josh, who you got in week number 2?
Bengals have a lot of good weapons on that offense, but their offensive line is going to be one of the worst this year. They elected to go with the wide receiver the first round instead of taking a sure thing at the much needed need on the offensive line. So I think our defense is going to be able to get to Joe Burrow and just make his life a living hell that day. And I think we can get it done enough offensively on the other side of things because I'm not scared of that defense. Bears win that game at home.
I completely agree. I think that, first of all, Joe Burrow is struggling in camp because he doesn't have an O-line. Bears defense, I've already went over. You know, Justin Fields is going to light up that defense, man. If he's starting, I'm going, by the way, keep in mind, my record predictions have Fields starting the whole season. So that's an impact. So keep in mind that. I think Fields is going to light up that defense. I think Fields could throw for definitely over 2 touchdowns this game. And I like that running game matchup too. I know they got DJ Reader there, and I know they got Trey Hendrickson, but I'm gonna say we win that game pretty easily.
And Redmond basically said what you guys said. That Bears front 7 is going to eat that Bengals offensive line alive. Nathaniel has you guys winning 38-21. I could definitely actually see that against the Bengals' uncertainty at defense. And I'm going to agree with both of you. I think the Bears get a very, very convincing win against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I think Khalil Mack can have 3 sacks in this game. I think that this is a really, really good opportunity for Khalil Mack to show his pure dominance. I know Josh has his jersey on right now. Khalil Mack's going to dominate this game along with Akeem Hicks, along with a guy like Robert Quinn could get a sack or 2, Eddie Goldman, and then Joe Burrow, even when he gets the ball out of his hands, he's going to be throwing under pressure. So maybe a couple of interceptions for maybe Roquan Smith. And it's just going to be a living hell for Joe Burrow this game, man. He's going to have to run away from Khalil Mack, from Akeem Hicks. Nobody wants to do that. So give me the Bears winning this game very, very convincingly. Defensive clinic, and then I think Dalton will still be the star of this game. I think he'll do more than enough to beat the Bengals because I just think the Bears are just a better team overall than Cincinnati. Give me the Bears to win this one.
Also,
and, what's up?
Can I say something? I want to say this now, and I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm not a believer in Joe Burrow this season. I don't think he's going to play well this season. I don't think so. I think a lot of people are coming into the season saying that he's gonna play well. He's gonna do this. I'm not saying he's gonna play dog shit. I'm just saying I don't think he's gonna be that good of a quarterback this year. Especially with that O-line, man. If you have, I don't care what wide receivers you have, what weapons you have. First of all, if you don't have an O-line, you don't have a running game, and you don't have any time to throw the ball. So that's a big issue there.
Like I said, with Burrow, it's like 50-50 with me. He could have a down season, but I don't think it's gonna be his fault. Like I said, because the O-line. But if the Bengals O-line come out and just prove us wrong, he could be comeback player of the year. But week number 3. Oh, this is such a defensive game in my opinion, right here against the Cleveland Browns. Nick, if you're somehow watching this, if you're out there, week 3, Nick, Josh, JB, Benji, you all will be going at it. Josh, who do you have for this game?
The Browns winning. They're a better team at this point than we are. They're very amazing on defense, solid offense as well. They can ground and pound. They have one of the best running games in the league with 1-2 bunch of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I think if this was being done later in the season, we'd have a much better chance of winning this game on the road. But right now, I'm just going to go with the Cleveland Browns week 2.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
plain and simple.
This is week 3. I'm sorry.
Plain and simple, I'm going to go Browns. I mean, they have a better team. They have that running game that's going to, play amazing for us. They also have Baker, who has a healthy Odell this season. I think Fields struggles this game, and we lose pretty easily.
All right, and I'm going to agree with both of you. I have the Browns winning this one. And ladies and gentlemen, I think this is Andy Dalton's last game starting. I think that he struggles so bad that Dag is going to be like, enough of this. Hey, Fields, get in the game. And I think this is going to be the last game for Andy Dalton. This is a really game that he's going to probably struggle in. Myles Garrett could have a good day right here against the Bears offensive line. And I think Baker's not the best quarterback, but he's going to do enough to outscore the Bears offense. And I think that this is it for Andy Dalton as a Chicago Bear. And I think the Browns are going to win, man. I think they're going to play stellar defense with a good enough offense to get this win right here. So right now, I'll give you guys an update through 3 weeks. Josh has the Bears at 1-2. Benji has the Bears at 2-1, and I have them at 1-2. So week number 4, the Detroit Lions. I think if there's any team that never beats the Bears, it is the Detroit Lions. So Josh, who do you have in the Bears versus Lions NFC North matchup?
Here in week 4, there's no way at home the Bears are going to lose to the Detroit Pussycats with Jared Goff. Are you kidding me? No, we win this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, W. Easy dub. Do I need to say anything more than the Detroit Lions? Like, I don't need an explanation. Win.
Yeah, I gotta agree, man. And this, for me, this is my first game of Mr. Justin Fields starting, and he's about to have a field day. If Trubisky was able to destroy the Lions every season, what do you think Fields is gonna do? Oh man, Jesus, give me the Bears. I don't think I had to explain this one. Really, I think that this is just pretty simple. The Bears are better defense, better offense. Look, I didn't look into special teams that much this season, but they might have the better special teams than the Lions, honestly. Better coaching staff, just better everything. Give me the Chicago Bears. Now we go to week number 5. Mofo is, if he's in the chat, he shows up sometimes. Your Vegas Raiders versus the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, who do you have?
Week number 5, Mofo, if you're listening, I'm sorry, buddy, but we're getting revenge. In London, you guys beat us. We came back on you a bit, but you guys pulled away. Here in Las Vegas and Sin City, Khalil Mack, Chicago Bears are going to run wild on the Las Vegas Raiders. They completely rehauled their offensive line. For what reason? I don't know. Derek Carr, I think he's okay, but he doesn't scare me. Henry Ruggs did not look good last year. He's coming in this year, adding 13 pounds to him. So I don't expect to see from him. Yeah, the Raiders just don't scare me. So give the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bears too. I've been starting off hot this season, but Raiders aren't scary to me. Y'all, first of all, y'all have arguably a top 10, 15 running back in the league, and all you do is run up the middle with him. And I'm telling you, that shit won't fly with the Bears defense. And two, our secondaries, we're gonna destroy y'all's wide receivers and your offensive line. Yeah, I mean, this is a W.
I agree with you. I have the Bears winning this game. Darren Waller better have like 5 touchdowns and like 500 yards in this game, or else they ain't doing anything. Because check down Derek Carr going up against this Bears defensive line. Also, Khalil Mack is going up against his former team with a bad O-line. Khalil Mack about to have a feast this game. Derek Carr is going to get completely shut down. Henry Ruggs, I don't know what to expect from him. And like I said, unless Darren Waller has like 500 yards and 5 touchdowns in this game, then they ain't winning this game. Give me the Bears winning this game very easily. And Benji, you had the Bears starting off 4-1, and me and Josh got the Bears starting off 3-2. So you're optimistic to a hot start, and you have Fields starting off the season. So pretty different. But we're gonna go to week number 6. Cheeseheads. I know you guys hate this team with a passion. I couldn't wait till we got to this game. Josh, who do you have? Bears, Packers, greatest rivalry in sports.
Mm-hmm. Now, Benji said that he has Fields starting the season, which I could see happening. You said that you have Fields starting at around that Cleveland game, right? Well, for me at this point, I still have Andy Dalton starting, and I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers to get this win.
Okay.
Week 6, and Rodgers had to return. He's making his last dance. We know how dangerous he is, and Packers have a pretty damn good team. I'm going to give them the win.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with Josh. I think we lose this game. Bears usually never win the first game that they play against the Packers in the season, and they have a really good team this year. I'm not.
Wow. Am I the only guy? I will hold up. Zoom in. Where does it say? Green Bay, week 6. That's a win. I think Justin Fields is going to be in a rhythm by this game. I think that is first off, I don't think the Packers are going to sweep you guys anytime soon. I think that Justin Fields is going to be in rhythm. He's going to have chemistry with his receivers. And that I think the Green Bay Packers are going to get caught off guard a little bit by the Chicago Bears. And I made my Packers prediction about a week ago. So I have them getting a win the week before, riding high. And they're going to sleep on Justin Fields and the Bears a little bit. I think the Bears, Justin Fields, like you said, Benji, he's made for these big moments. He's made for these big division rival games. And I think he's going to shock the whole league and just get a win in this one. I think that the defense is going to show up for the Bears. I think the defensive line is going to get pressure on Rodgers. And I just think that this is going to be a game where the Chicago Bears is going to take advantage of right here. Green Bay, I still have them making the playoffs and winning the division. So don't think, you had the Bears beating them. You must think the Packers suck. No. But like I said, I think that the Bears are going to have an upset. And that's one upset that I have right here. So give me the Chicago Bears to win this game.
Okay.
So all right. Next, we had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another 12 at the quarterback position. So this part of the schedule looks a little bit hard. Who you got, Josh? Bears or Buccaneers?
Buccaneers. We handed them their ass, man. We handed them an L last year. It was nice, man. Could we do it again? We could, but I'm going to say Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, clap back. They get this win. They pretty much brought everybody back that's worthwhile. They lost no difference makers during the offseason. They're running it back, and they're going to clap back here at home against us.
I'm going to agree with Josh here. I have us losing this game. We don't match up well with them this year, I don't think. And that O-line is top 5. Our defense is going to have struggles there getting pass rush in. And their defense is arguably the best defense in the league. I don't think they are, but arguably they are. And they're damn well top 3. I think Fields struggles this game. This is another L for us.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to be riding high off the Packers from the week before. I think you guys are going to get go back down to earth a little bit. I think Brady's going to have a good day against your defense. And that receiving core, man, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown. And they're going to get O.J. Howard back. Let's see what he can do at the tight end position. It's just going to be an offensive clinic, I think, by the Buccaneers. And then their defense, man, that young and linebacker and Devin White, man, that man is a beast. Levante David, one of the more underrated linebackers. He's an amazing player. The defensive line gets pressure. All of the above. I just think the Buccaneers are going to be too much for the Bears, and the Bears are going to drop this game. Now, Seattle Seahawks, Chicago Bears. This is going to be an interesting game. Josh, who do you have winning this game?
Seahawks,
week 8. Uh-oh.
We're not playing the Seahawks week 8.
You aren't.
No, we're playing the 49ers week 8.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I put the other NFC West team. Jesus.
I'm going to be at this game Halloween weekend.
I'll be right there, too.
That's right.
You want to know the funny part about this?
What?
So when I was because I had this written down on a piece of paper. When I was writing this, this was just a curse. When I was writing this, first I put Bears versus Bears, then I put Bears versus Seahawks, and it was Bears versus Niners.
My goodness, MG.
But
You okay?
actually, yes, a couple of days ago when I first went through the Bears schedule, I did obviously I knew you guys played the Niners because you guys talk about the trip. But Josh, who do you have winning this game?
Man, I really hope that you guys are right
Oh man.
and Justin
Mhm.
Fields is the starter by week 8. Because I would love to see him in person at
Is
home.
Dalton
That would
still
be
your QB?
incredible. But assuming that everyone's healthy, San Francisco 49ers have one of the best rosters in the NFL. Their defense is incredible. The offense that they have is also amazing. Brandon Ayuk, I can't wait to see what he does this year. He's an incredible talent. I'm going to give this win to the San Francisco 49ers.
No. Damn.
Well, Benji has something to say about that.
Josh made some good points there. But I got Fields, baby. And guess what?
What?
Fields throws for 3 touchdowns this game. He is going to torch that defense, whether you want to know it or not. I'm telling you straight up how it's going to be. Fields is going to perform well. And I like this matchup first. I think Trey Lance is going to be starting by now, too, because I think Garoppolo struggles. And guess what, man? Justin Fields, he's playing a big game again on Halloween Day. He's going to show up. I like these matchups for us with cornerback-wise. I think Allen Robinson has a good game. Darnell Mooney has a good game. And I have us winning. I think this defense is going to be a little too much for Trey Lance. He hasn't faced anything like our defense.
I hope
You know
so.
what, Benji? I used to say a lot. This one specific line. But that's such a bad take. I agree with you. Because I have the Bears upsetting the 49ers. Lance versus Fields. I think Trey Lance will be starting by this time. Because I think Kyle Shanahan, if you guys know his history, he tends to move on from his quarterbacks a little bit quicker than maybe he's supposed to. And I think that Trey Lance is going to be starting by this time. And I think that Fields is going to outdo him. I think that the offensive line for the Niners is going to face a real challenge with the Bears' defensive front seven. I think that, and also this is the battle of Roquan Smith versus Fred Warner, two of the top linebackers in the NFL. I just think that the Bears are going to come out. They're going to punch the Niners in the mouth. And I think Allen Robinson has a very good game because Niners secondary doesn't scare me as much as it used to in years prior. Obviously, losing Richard Sherman. I just think that the Bears are going to come out and win this game. Allen Robinson has, I think he can have a really good game. I don't know why, but when I looked at this game a couple of days ago, I just looked at Allen Robinson going off this game. I could just picture it. And I have the Bears winning this game. So I got them 4-4 by week 8. Josh has them at 3-5 by week 8. And Benji has them at 5-3 by week 8. So Benji's very optimistic. I think where you guys
is not well.
You guys were 5-3 by week 8 last year. So let's just say could happen again. Week 9. The terrible towel. The terrible towel. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Joshua, who do you have winning this game? Bears or Steelers?
This is primetime football in Heinz Field. And you know, the Steelers, they regressed from last season. They lost a lot of pieces. That offensive line, as bad as Cincinnati's offensive line was when we played them week 2, the Steelers might have the worst offensive line that we faced this year. They're terrible. We're going to be able to get to old Big Ben and make his day even longer than Joe Burrow's. And on the other side of things, Steelers, they still have a pretty damn good defense, right? But I think we do enough, and we can win on the road on prime time. We win.
All right. Benji, who you got winning this game?
Man, this is a tough choice for me, but I'm going to say that the Steelers win this game. I don't know why. I mean, on paper, it looks like it's in the Bears' favor, but I have a feeling that, the Steelers will win this game. I think Najee Harris is going to be very good this season. I think he's going to be a problem for us. I like their wide receivers. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is still a good wide receiver, no matter what you want to say about him, no matter how much you hate him. You still got to respect him. And I like Chase Claypool this season. Yeah, I have him winning it.
We got Roach in the chat. Actually, we not too long ago we got them the San Francisco 49ers. I had the Bears winning, and I believe Josh had the Bears winning. And Benji, you had the Bears losing to the Niners.
No, I had us
if I'm
winning.
correct. Or you had you
Josh.
I'm sorry, reverse. Josh had the Bears losing. Benji had the Bears winning, and I had the Bears winning. So that's me and Benji got upset for your Niners, and Josh got the Bears losing. But my turn for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got the Bears winning this one. I just think everything is set up for you guys to win. I think the Steelers absolutely regress, and the Bears' defensive line is going to have a feast once again. I think Khalil Mack, this is another game where he could have 2 or 3 sacks in the game. I think that your guys' front seven opposes a horrible challenge to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then offensively, I think Fields is going to be able to do some good things. I think that the only thing I'm worried about with Fields is him facing the pressure of TJ Watt, but he does have the escapability to escape the pressure. I think that the Bears are going to win a close, nice defensive game, but I think the offense of the Bears does just enough to win this game. Rocha puts the laughing emojis in the chat. I think he's mad that we had the Niners losing, Benji, and he said Josh the only smart guy here. So, hey, man.
Yeah, Trey Lance is not going to be able to handle his defense, Rocha, so.
You know what, Benji? That is kind of weird, though. You have the Bears losing to the Steelers but beating the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a feeling, man. So upsets happen. Not everything goes the way it should.
True.
Right. I have the Bears winning this game. So, all right, week number 9. Week number 10, you guys say goodbye because you have a bye week. So it's the Bears versus the Bears practice squad. All right, so honestly, I'm going to go with the Bears practice squad.
I'm going to go Nick Foles in the Bears practice squad, man.
Josh, predictions?
All right, week 11, off of the bye week at home, Baltimore Ravens. They are a tough team, Lamar Jackson and company, but I think we get the job done. We get the win here at home. Off of the bye week, 2 weeks to prepare for the Baltimore Ravens. We can take care of business.
Okay, so you have the Bears beating the Baltimore Ravens. Ooh, interesting.
Yes, I do.
Benji, who do you have?
Guess what?
Chicken butt?
Guess what? Lamar Jackson ain't going to do shit. We are going to, man, listen, Lamar, I hope you're watching this right now. I know you're not. But listen, Lamar, you're going to be forced to throw the ball against this defense because you're not going nowhere with our defense. We're going to keep you contained. And guess what? Bojack going to come in there, pick that off. Jalen Johnson going to come in there, pick that off. You ain't doing shit on this defense. Justin Fields is going to play well this game. I have us taking the W 6-4, baby.
I'm sorry. I don't think the same way. I'm sorry. Listen here, man. I think that the Ravens, I think the rushing attack is going to pose a big threat to the Bears front seven. You guys are going to be tested, man. And then you're going to have Mark Andrews, who's also going to be a threat in this game at the tight end position. I think it's going to be a defensive game, but I think the Ravens pull this one out. I don't know, man. I think that Benji, you did say Bo Jackson. Arturo just called that.
I said Bojack. That's his nickname.
Whose nickname?
Eddie Jackson's nickname, and his Instagram name is even Bojack.
Oh, I see. You learn something new every day. But I have the Ravens winning this game. As much as I hate to say it, that's what I have, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so through 10 weeks of the Bears playing football, because you had week 10 bye, Benji, you had them at 6-4, I believe.
Yep.
So, okay, all right. And Josh, you have them at 6-4 or 5-5? Jesus.
5-5.
So Josh has them at 5-5. Benji has them at 6-4. And I have the Bears at 5-5 as well. So there you go. All right, week number 12. Is this another win for the Bears, Josh?
This is another bye week for us. This is Thanksgiving Day football for us. Thanksgiving Day, get to sit back, relax, no worries, and just watch my Chicago Bears cruise through a victory and rack up fantasy points. I'm taking the Bears to sweep the Lions.
Okay. Benji?
Bears over Lions. I'm not even going to go into a lot. It just look what happened last time the Bears played the Lions on Thanksgiving, and that's all you need to know. Okay?
All right. So, I agree. This should be easy one for the Bears. Broomsticks anywhere? Y'all got a broomstick? Broomstick?
Oh, Jake, get the broomstick.
Shit. Can't find one.
Sorry, Tyrell agrees with Josh. He has the Bears at 6-5 so far. So, all right. Benji, the optimistic one out of the group.
7-4.
Week 13, you guys will be playing Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. Josh, who do you have winning this football game?
Man, every time it seems throughout my life, every time the Bears played the Cardinals, no matter what the status is of the Bears or what the Cardinals look like, we always just have a crazy game. Whether it's in Chicago, whether it's in Arizona, especially if it's in Arizona. This is a game that I think could go either way. We could beat them, they could beat us, but I'm going to have an upset win here on the road for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I agree with Josh. I think the Cardinals
Wow.
I think the Cardinals win this game. I really like Kyler this season. I think he could finish a top 5 fantasy quarterback, top 5 quarterback maybe in the league. And D-Hop is gonna he's going against Jalen Johnson, Desmond Trufant. No matter who he goes against, he's gonna dominate. Don't worry about that. So
Y'all also had the Arizona Cardinals winning this game. I think this could possibly be a good game, but DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Kyler Murray, I think they're going to get the edge over the Bears in this one. So, hey, man, we'll have to see what happens, though. But week number 14. Josh, you like this game, don't you?
Yes. I love this game. Week 14, this is going to be Aaron Rodgers' last home game in Lambeau. And we're going to spoil it. We're going to spoil it. His last home game at Lambeau versus Chicago Bears, and Bears are going to win. Fields going to go in there and kick his ass. Give me the Bears to split the series and take the dub week 14. This is the one I want. This one.
Benji.
Josh, that sounds so great. I really wish it would happen. I hope it happens, but I don't think it will. I have the Packers sweeping us.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Benji, no.
No, because listen, man, I'm not gonna be biased here. Packers, I just really, really, really worry about how well Aaron Jones is gonna play against us, Devontae Adams, and A-Rod got something to prove this season. When Aaron Rodgers has something to prove, he's 10 times scarier than he is already. And I think he's gonna win the game for the Packers here.
Josh, should he have won the Cardinals game again?
Cardinals, I have the Cardinals winning.
Oh, you had the Bears winning. Interesting.
And then I have the Bears winning week 14.
You got it going back. You got the Bears going back to back.
No.
All right. Oh, you got the Cardinals, Packers.
Cardinals, and then Bears.
Week number 15. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm 7-6 right now so far.
7-6. All right, I'm making sure. All right, so 7-6. Going into Minnesota, Vikings make QC wants to hate himself, and this particular matchup is why that song is even a thing. Josh, who do you have, Minnesota or Chicago?
Monday Night Football, prime time. Minnesota Vikings, I think they're pretty good team this year. They got better defensively, in my opinion. They beefed up their offensive line, which is the right thing to do, and the way they did it was fantastic. They have incredible weapons on the offense with Justin Jefferson going to year 2, Adam Thielen, and Irv Smith. Of course, Dalvin Cook. If healthy, Vikings are a serious threat. But it's prime time. Kirk Cousins sucks against the Chicago Bears, especially under the bright lights. So give me the Bears.
It's prime time. Kirk Cousins. You guys know I like Kirk Cousins. We're winning this game. I have us going into 8-6. I think Fields destroys this Vikings defense. That secondary. I mean, they lost Anthony Harris. I know they still have Harrison Smith. Who's their number one corner? Cam Dantzler.
No, Patrick Peterson.
Okay, yeah, Pat Pete.
Jeff Gladney.
Jeff Gladney got cut, I'm pretty sure.
He did? Interesting.
I think so. So they I don't think they'll be able to keep up with the Bears wide receivers. I have us win this game.
I agree. If you guys see my Vikings prediction that I premiered earlier today, I had the Bears winning this one. Kirk Cousins, I'm sorry, but Justin Fields is gonna beat you in your guys' first ever matchup, and I have the Chicago Bears taking the dub. Now you guys play the Seahawks, so now my brain works actually this time. In Week 16, Wilson versus Fields. Josh, who you got?
Man, Wilson versus Fields. That is going to be something to watch. It's in Seattle, though. Seahawks are a damn good team. They're very hard to beat at home. Give me Seattle to win this one.
Benji?
I believe that the Seahawks win this game.
Okay.
I don't know. I think that Russ will play well against our defense, and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, very dangerous duo, and whoever's let's say you have DK, our top corner Jalen Johnson, he's guarding him well. I don't trust Desmond Trufant to guard Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett is a very, very good wide receiver, underrated, one of the most underrated players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I have him winning this.
All right. Well, I agree. I have the Seattle Seahawks beating the Bears in this one. I just think that, the Seahawks offensively, even though our offensive line does have questions there, I think their weapons are really good. And if Chris Carson stays healthy for the millionth time, if Chris Carson can stay healthy, then the Seahawks can have one of the best offensive weapon groups in the league. And I have them winning this game. Give me the Seahawks. And now we go into week number 17 versus the New York Football Bums. Josh, who you got?
Oh, we're playing the Giants again at
Yep.
home again.
Yep.
They're looking terrible in training camp. Give me the Chicago Bears to steamroll these Giants.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
Daniel Bum Jones, you're not going to do anything against this defense, my guy. I have Fields going off this game too. I think Fields will play very well to end the regular season off, and I have us finishing 10-7 and going to the playoffs, baby.
Ooh, 10-7. Okay, Josh, who do you have for the last game against Minnesota?
Oh, I have Minnesota splitting this series, taking the dub. We finish 9-8, and Matt Nagy continues to never have a losing season as our head coach.
I agree.
The Vikings winning, obviously.
Okay. All right. So I have the Minnesota Vikings also splitting the series, and I have the Chicago Bears as 9-8 as well as Josh. So 9-8, 9-8, 9-8, 9-8. Who doesn't have a 9-8? Arturo has the Bears at 8-9 to finish the season. He has the Vikings winning this last game.
Seahawks have a Kello Witherspoon.
Okay, what does that mean?
Yeah,
he's a corner.
And I know he's a corner, but okay.
Yeah. But I mean, who cares about Kello Witherspoon?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Now that we're done with the predictions, I have questions now based off of your guys' record. Is now the questions I asked for right now. And if you're in the chat and you have questions, make sure you guys let these boys know what you got. Duke Wire says that he has Nagy going 9-8 as well. So that's interesting. At least the question that I just figured out I even had. Matt Nagy has never, and I think we all predict right here, he will never have a losing season as a Bear. But yet he's on the hot seat so much. So, Josh, do you think Matt Nagy loses his job with your 9-8 record?
No, he keeps it. Especially if he makes the right decision about Fields and doesn't make the fan base and the media call for Fields in his head. So as long as he does the right thing and start him when he should, when it's obvious to everybody else, as long as he does that and we finish with 8 wins, 9 wins, he's going to keep his job.
Yeah.
And he has shown that to us with this team what he is as a head coach and what his potential could be. he could really propel this team to new heights, even better than 2018. So, no, he's going to keep his job.
I agree
Benji,
with
your
Josh. I think he keeps his job. 10-7. I think he actually makes the playoffs with Fields with us. And there's a lot of worse head coaches out there that Bears fans don't like to recognize. It could be way worse. I'm fine with him staying as head coach as long as he can stop calling those dumbass screen passes and utilize Justin Fields the way that he should, which I believe he will.
Absolutely, I think he's learned some lessons. And also with the defense coming back this year, getting Sean Desai as our defensive coordinator, I think that's going to be huge for us. You're going to see a lot more penetration, a lot more blitzes. You're going to see a lot more turnovers this year. In 2018, our Chicago Bears defense had six touchdowns. We might come close to that again this year. So it's very optimistic right now. Our potential.
All right. And I mean, I agree. I don't think Matt Nagy will lose his job. I just think right here, I mean, he was one of the guys who wanted to draft Justin Fields. This is his guy who he drafted, and I think that they're gonna give him more than 1 year to coach up Justin Fields. And I think that Matt Nagy is gonna keep his job, but I don't think he loses it. Now, next question. I need a stat prediction. Wait, what did Rocha say? Oh my God, Rocha. Jesus Christ,
fucking
man.
Weirdo.
Anyways, next question. Jesus, I forgot what I was gonna ask. See, Rocha?
Prediction.
Yeah, stat prediction, rushing yards and touchdowns, and amount of carries for Montgomery.
All right, so if David Montgomery does get his 20 attempts per game, and he averages 4.3, 4.5 or more yards per carry, he's going to have 1,500 yards.
Okay. 1,500, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Benji was
1,500 yards.
For
you mean like overall, right? Including
yeah.
I agree with Josh. But I think he actually takes a step further. I think he has 1,600 yards. I think he's in 1,000, easily like in 1,000-yard rusher, 1,100-yard rusher. Going off of what Nagy said. Nagy literally said he wants to get him 20-plus carries a game. That's not crazy of me to think that he can get 1,600 yards. And I believe last season, nobody talked about it, but David Montgomery was actually a hell of a good running back when it came into the receiving game. He had like 60 receptions and like a good amount of yards. So I have David Montgomery being a top 10 running back this season, finishing with 1,600.
And I got Montgomery finishing with 1,100 rushing yards with 500 receiving yards. We'll put him 1,600 total yards. I think he's going to have 10 rushing touchdowns. I'll say 3 receiving touchdowns. And I think Montgomery overall finishes as a top 10 rusher in this league. I think that he's going to have the best season of his career. And I think he can get up to 200 carries maybe. I think 200 is fair. I mean, considering the fact that Derrick Henry gets 380. So, I mean, Montgomery's going to be one of the most utilized running backs, I think, this year. But he's going to be 180 carries under the most utilized running back. So, I mean, that just goes to show you that. But next, stat prediction, catches, yards, touchdown, Allen Robinson.
He'll have probably 110 receptions or more. About 1,300 yards. And for the first time since going back to his Jacksonville Jaguars days, he's going to have double-digit touchdowns.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Allen Robinson has about 90 catches. I think it's going to go down a little bit because I think Darnell Mooney's going to be targeted a lot because I have him having a big year. I have him going for 10 touchdowns on the season and 1,200 yards.
Yep. And for me, I think 1,200 yards, Allen Robinson, 95 receptions, and 10 touchdowns. All right. And our last and final stat prediction, we're going to go to defense. Number 52, Khalil Mack. Tackles and sack numbers for Khalil Mack. Josh.
I'm going to say 12 sacks
Ooh,
for Khalil
okay.
Mack this year. 12
Okay.
sacks for Khalil Mack this year. Also, I want to say Robert Quinn has a bounce back season, and he gets close to double-digit sacks. Maybe even double digits this year, too. I think he's going to have a bounce back season.
I'm going to say 14 sacks for Khalil Mack this year. I think he goes crazy, especially with the offensive lines we're playing this year. He's going to have a lot of opportunities to mess them up. So I'm very excited. And you said tackles as well?
Yes.
I'd say like around 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I say around like 80 tackles and 11 sacks on the year. I think that he's going to have some big games. I think he's going to be I think Khalil Mack, man, he's one of those guys, man, where he is, no matter if he's just getting pressures or sacks, he is just scary for any opposing quarterback when he's coming at you. And I just think he's going to have a good year. I think he's going to finish top 5 in sacks with 11. And I think he's going to have 95 tackles on the year, tackles for losses on running backs, tackles inside the backfield, whatever. Khalil Mack's going to be all over that backfield. And if you got to play against him this year, he won't be in your quarterback face 24/7, win or loss for Khalil Mack. All right, so if Rocha says if Mack goes against Williams, he won't get a sack against us. But if he goes against McGunchy, he'll get a couple.
He'll get a sack regardless, at least one sack on y'all.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Arturo says he has bet. Rocha, Josh said a bet. You know, Josh is always down to bet because he wins like 80% of them.
Oh, now he doesn't want to.
Oh, Rocha, come on, bro. Come on, Roach. You can't be doing that, man. All right, but Arturo says 10.5 sacks. Bigford says 9.5 sacks for Khalil Mack. And, yeah, so we got Arturo says 1,100 rushing yards for Mr. David Montgomery. Okay. All right. And then some of the record predictions the chat had. Arturo said 8 and 9. Rebner had 9 and 8. Duke had 9 and 8. Bigford had 10 and 7 for the Bears. Oh, Roger said that wasn't to his bet. His response of saying no wasn't to the bet.
Okay.
Okay, so you're still down to make it. He says last time I said that Chase Young and he went off. Oh, last time you said that someone wouldn't get a sack, they went off.
Is
so
it
you
a
don't
no
want
or
to jinx
yes,
yourself.
Rocha?
It's yes or no, man. Duke Aguirre says 15 sacks for Khalil Mack. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I want to say this too. Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like outside of the fan base, whenever people, like the casual audiences, when they think about the Chicago Bears, they think, they're not much. They're not anything. They're not a threat. A lot of people just laugh about the Bears. I think we're going to change a lot of minds this year. We're going to scare some people. Maybe we don't make the playoffs. Maybe we don't. But we're going to let people know that the Monsters of Midway are back. We're going to let them know this year.
I agree.
Monsters and
Midway. I think our offense is substantially better this season than it has been even since 2018.
All right, Georgie says 31 for the Steelers and 6 for the Bears when they match up. That's what Georgie said.
All right, well, I guess someone's smoking weed tonight. Goddamn.
Last time we played the Steelers, I was at that game at home.
Mm-hmm.
We had no business winning that game, and we did. In fact, we swept the entire AFC North that year.
You guys did that year. Yep.
I'd love to do it again.
Amen. Georgie, he bringing out the hot takes. So, Rocha, is it a bet or no bet? Are you going to say, are you going to make the bet that Matt doesn't get a sack against Trent Williams, or are you going to say he doesn't? You got to come on, Rocha. You can't back down now. We're waiting. So, Josh.
Yes.
Last question before we get to any chat questions and close out today's stream. Do you think that your defense will improve with the new defensive scheme that you guys could possibly be running, or do you think it will regress?
It's absolutely going to improve. Chuck Pagano regressed our defense. It regressed them 2 years since that 2018 season. We stopped
Mhm.
blitzing. We stopped creating turnovers. We stopped scoring on defense. And that's going to come back under Sean Desai. Like I was saying earlier, he's going to bring that pressure. Unlike we saw the last couple of seasons, it's going to look damn good. It's going to for sure improve this year. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean, I agree
Benji,
with
your
Josh.
thoughts?
And by the way, Sean Desai, I believe, was our safeties coach. I think
Yeah.
when Vic Fangio was our defensive coordinator, and we know how well our safeties played that season with Adrian Amos and Eddie Jackson. I really like him this season, and I think our defense is going to be a top 10 defense easily.
How Eddie Jackson made a name for himself across the league, and everyone just started paying attention to Eddie Jackson. That's what Jalen Johnson's going to do. He is going to have a phenomenal season this year.
I agree. I 100% agree.
All right. And, just for the chat and just for the stream, we'll give a bonus. League MVP, Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, I will go with Trevor Lawrence. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Micah Parsons. MVP this season.
I'm glad you asked these questions.
It might be Aaron Rodgers. It just might be.
Wow, again.
He is going to absolutely light up the league this year.
All right.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think it's going to be Justin Fields. Call me biased. If he starts week 1, I think he'll finish the best overall. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to say Patrick Surtain. I really like him this year, especially as a cornerback 2, because they have Kyle Fuller there. He's going to play very well. And listen, man, I know y'all called me crazy last time, and I proved y'all right, or I proved y'all wrong. Calling him the offensive Rookie of the Year, but I think Justin Herbert wins MVP this year. Hot take. He is going to win MVP this year. He's going to throw for over 35 touchdowns, under 10 interceptions. And I see that MG has his head in his face, but here let me explain why. First of all, Justin Fields threw for 31 touchdowns last season without Austin Eckler really healthy, without Keenan Allen being fully healthy, without Mike Williams being fully healthy. He also now has a healthy offense, better O-line, better defense. He has Jared Cook coming in at tight end for him, an actual healthy tight end. He has all the weapons in the world. There's no reason why he should do worse.
Healthy
and
Eckler.
If you're throwing for over 35 touchdowns and about 6 interceptions, which I think he will do, I think he could hit 40. I don't think that's totally out of the question.
The reason why I don't think he's going to win MVP because they're not going to win the division. And I think that as much as, yes, it is a player success, you see this in the NBA and NFL all the time. It also comes down to if you are a top 2 or top 3 seed in your conference and if you won your division. And I still think the Chargers can make a wild card, but they're not going to win their division. I think that they're going to win the division. Oh my God.
They're going to. They put it on the money right now. The Chargers, we're going to look back at this by the end of the season. This is my hot take. This is my hot take for this season. The Chargers will win the division, and Justin Herbert will win MVP. You can put it on the money. Hold me accountable for this because when I'm right, I'm going to be laughing in all of y'all's faces.
Okay. All right.
And
it's my hot take this season.
Tyler Patton says hi, Josh.
Hi, Tyler. So, do you guys have a dark horse MVP candidate?
Ooh, good question. Dark horse.
I'll tell you mine.
Arturo. Ooh, who is it?
My dark horse MVP is going to be Matthew Stafford.
Benji. Benji.
You talked about an MVP has to win a division, right? MG, isn't that what you said?
Yep.
Well, the Los Angeles Rams could absolutely do that. Matthew Stafford with the best offense he's ever had, actual offensive line, real offensive-minded head coach, all those beastly weapons. A dark horse MVP candidate is Matthew Stafford.
You know what? I could see it happening. It's not gonna happen, but I could see it happening.
Dark horse.
All right, Arturo said MVP for Arturo's Aaron Donald. Offensive Rookie Year is Devontae Smith. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Micah Parsons. Offensive Player of the Year is Derrick Henry. And Defensive Player of the Year is Darius Leonard. You don't have a regular Rookie of the Year? I like this pick. And I'll go with mine.
Why don't we ask this? Who do you guys have winning the Super Bowl this year?
Well, while you guys are thinking, I'll drop my award predictions for a second.
Okay.
So my MVP, Josh Allen. My Offensive Player of the Year, Derrick Henry. Defensive Player of the Year, Jalen Ramsey. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Devontae Smith. Rookie of the Year is going to be Trevor Lawrence, and Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to go to Micah Parsons. And then, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. All right, went through all of them. So,
all right, I got it.
Super Bowl. Who's yours, Benji?
Super Bowl. The Super Bowl winners this season will be not the Chiefs, not the Buccaneers, not the Chargers, not the Packers. It will be the Tennessee Titans. Put it on the money. Ryan Tannehill, it plays well for him. Derrick Henry goes off in the playoffs. And guess what? No playoff team, no playoff defense is going to be able to handle Julio Jones and A.J. Brown coming at you full speed trying to catch that ball. I got Titans.
Josh, who do you have winning the Lombardi?
Go with Chiefs.
Chiefs? Okay. I'm going to go with, and I honestly, bro, I don't know why, I just had this feeling. Bow down to the GOAT because Brady's winning his 8th Super Bowl ring in 11 tries. They have the most complete team in the NFL. They have the most complete roster in the NFL. I think that even with the Niners healthy, I think the Buccaneers are still better. They're better than the Packers. And I think they will beat the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. And honestly, I think the Bills are going to make the Super Bowl. They won't win it right now, but I do think that the Bills will make the Super Bowl.
Woo.
All right, so Benji and Josh, any last words before we close out today's stream?
Hey, thank you for having me on, MG. I really appreciate it. I'm excited for this NFL season. I hope all of y'all are as well. And sub to MG, sub to Josh and Sean. And let's go. Let's get this going. We got fantasy to look forward to. We got the rest of preseason to look forward to. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Benji, are you ever going to do YouTube again?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay. Well, Josh, go ahead.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem, sir. And Josh, where could they find you? Even though you probably don't need an introduction, but just common courtesy, where can they find you?
They can find us at www.mattressfirm.fury.com.
I'm looking that up right now.
Watch you find like some
virus
guy just laying on the mat. Okay. Whoa, Josh, you sending a virus to Benji's phone? What are you doing? But yeah, man, make sure you guys subscribe to the Sports Fury if you already haven't. I mean, if you aren't, and I just honestly don't know if you're a true sports fan, if you're not subscribed to the Sports Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Also, too, I mean, if you care enough to subscribe to me, all love is appreciated. Hit the like on the stream before you guys leave, because that is the best way to support the channel without money. So make sure you guys do all of that and more. Shout out to Josh, shout out to Benji for doing it today, doing a Bears prediction, doing some stat predictions for the Bears and more. Hey man, NFL season is about to be here. So look, y'all make sure y'all keep up with Josh's season predictions. Also, too, I'm going to be uploading twice a day for my season predictions. Our next division is going to be the AFC North, and we're going to have Corrupt on next. That's our next collab. Corrupt, Baltimore Ravens prediction. The headphones will return. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for every other season's prediction. 2 uploads a day. Shout out to Josh and Benji. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you've been talking sports with MG Nas, and I'm out.
All right, peace
Don't
out.
die, like Isaiah would say. Don't die.